Hi guys, it's Tori. Welcome back. Welcome to my channel if you're new. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some study tips that I use. I've been procrastinating to make this video because I genuinely don't feel like there is one specific way that a person studies and it works for them. But these are some of the tips that I use that work for me. So hopefully you guys are able to apply them and they work for you guys. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. So the first tip is romanticize studying, and just romanticize it. Think about it. Think about a plan. If you have to change the lights in your room, change them. If you have to clear a desk, get highlighters, all these fancy things that practically make studying more fun for you, more aesthetic, then that's exactly what you should do. Create a to-do list. As you begin studying, make sure that you create a to-do list. Figure out what you want to do and what you want to accomplish at the end of that study and just write it down. If you can, place stickers or flashcards or sticky notes right by your desk, wherever it is that you're studying from, or even just on your phone, and set a timer for yourself. Say from this time to this time, this is how much work I want to cover and this is what I want to accomplish. I want to understand on this. Break down your work into sections or into topics so that you don't crowd your mind with so many things that you're unable to remember at the end of the day. Make sure you pick a topic, you make sure that you study it and you understand it. So personally, what I do is I study topic by topic, like from the first topic to the last topic. And afterwards, I start revising. Now that's when I can jumble the topics up and go from topic 1 to topic 9 or topic 9 to topic 5 and just like that, because at least I have the overall idea of the concept of the entire module. And also, I really try to not study similar concepts, because what happens is when you study similar concepts, your brain, I don't know, but your brain finds it very, very difficult to distinguish between the two concepts, and as a result it's very easy to mix them up. So I try to move topic 2 to a later date so that I understand them as individual topic and not as one cohesive thing, because that just helps me remember, and that helps me even as I'm like preparing myself for exams or even just writing the exams. I know exactly where a topic is, so I can't really mix it up because I know that it's two very different contents, and it just makes it really easy for you to remember, I guess. Write down notes and reread them. So I know most of the times when you have a book or when you're given your lecture notes, it's very easy for you to just read through them without necessarily taking notes. But I highly recommend that you actually take down notes. And personally, well, every single person has a way of doing them. I prefer not typing my notes because I know how fast typing is, and because the goal is to obviously finish, I think sometimes we forget that we need to understand. As much as you want to cover that content, it's very important that you understand it. And when I'm using my laptop, or when I used to use my laptop to type down the notes, I found myself typing faster but not fully getting the concept. So what I prefer doing is literally writing them down in pen, handwritten notes, because I feel like I really take my time to understand the concept, to write it down in my own words as well, and not just copying and pasting it from the lecturer's notes. I also try to just make my own notes, way summarized notes that just includes definitions, concepts, ideas, my own thoughts, as well as real life scenarios. As you take down notes, try to find a good note-taking method, and if that involves flashcards, use flashcards. If you prefer using a separate study book, use a separate study book. Whatever method it is that you use, if it's drawing diagrams or if it's just writing notes for what they are, use that. So personally, I try to use spider diagrams. Okay, it's a whole nother topic for another day. If you guys want to actually see a visual of how I do it when taking down my notes, leave a comment down below and I will make a whole separate video on that. Learn from different sources. In as much as you're going to be given module descriptors and separate notes from your lecturers, I highly recommend that you use other sources to learn. For instance, last semester I had Java programming and I had web design. I would have like a code for these two modules and would have to interpret them. And the one thing that I was really trying to do, because you can write code and not understand it because the system literally prompts you for like syntax and stuff like that, and as a result, because you're constantly being prompted for this syntax, you end up not fully knowing the syntax if you're not very careful. So the one thing that I did is our lecturer gave us very summarized notes, and he gave us a really big book. It was like I think it was like 2,000 pages, if I'm not mistaken, 2,000 plus pages, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, it's a good book, but I'm really not reading that. And also, even though I tried reading it, the concepts were very, very difficult for me to understand. And the one thing that I tried doing was to just get books from different sources. My best recommended source for books, literature, academics, any type of book is PDF Drive. They're not paying me, this is not an ad, but I just think it's a very, very helpful website for you to get any type of books academically. Also, as you get these books, make sure they're like in line with the content that you're learning. Look at your course syllabus or your module syllabus and really try to make sure that the book that you're getting has the same content and read it. And that was one thing that really helped me. The other thing is tutorials. For things that are very practical, most especially, please do look at tutorials. They explain the concepts way better, and you can even learn at your own pace as you use tutorials. Don't memorize, no. I know this is very hard and it's very cliche to say don't memorize, no. But what I mean is it's very easy to just have a memory of something, and it's a whole nother thing to actually know something and know how it fully works, how it's applied. And the one way that I use to avoid memorizing things is just looking at real world scenarios. Like, for instance, if I'm given a piece of code or whatever, I'm literally looking at, okay, so this is a piece of code, but what exactly does it do, and where exactly is it planted or placed in a system, for instance. And just looking at real world examples, real applications, and just, you know, people talking about it as well gives you much more, it gives you a more vivid picture of what it really is, unlike you just taking it from context, like in notes form, without fully knowing what it is or what it does. So the one way you can use to learn or to not memorize and rather fully know is to just look at real world applications. Avoid using my phone as I'm studying. I put it on silent, I turn it off, I turn off my data, and for every type of research that I need, I try to use my laptop and not my phone, because once I start using my phone, it's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to get text messages from social media and then get distracted and then having to start to reply to them. So the one thing that I highly recommend is that you really avoid using your phone by all costs. Is making corrections from like failed exams, like literally writing them down word for word, looking them up after you receive your results, and trying to fully make those corrections, or like consulting your lecturer. Where, for instance, if you wrote an essay and in your eyes and in your mind it was a very good essay, but you didn't get a good grading for it, take it back to your lecturer and find out where exactly you went wrong and what exactly you can improve. I think that's a very good way to learn things, because guys, at some point we all think we know everything, but once you get results and you realize, like, where did I actually get wrong? Because where did I actually get it wrong? Because this is actually what we learned and I'm putting it into wording, but maybe you like miss the concept, you miss the main point. So try as much as you possibly can to make corrections. Do take breaks. As you are studying, make sure that you take breaks in between. Personally, I don't fully take breaks because I think my brain has kind of adapted to a certain mechanism where I can study for a very long period of times without necessarily taking breaks, like active breaks. Maybe I'll like stand up to pee. Sometimes I wouldn't at all stand up to pee. I'll just study for like 3 or 4 hours straight without moving an inch, because you just tend to get into the zone. But for most people, I highly recommend that you take breaks. Some YouTube videos suggest that you should take like 10 minutes break or 5 minutes break every after 20 minutes. I feel like that slows me down, but for other people, it could be like the best way to retain information, because you're not in the same place at the same time or doing the same thing over and over to a point where your mind becomes idle. Participate in class. I find participation to be such a key element to learning, because you're fully engaged on what's being taught and you're fully interacting with your lecturers, you're fully getting the concepts. And so even when you do come back home to come and read the notes or to come and study or whatever, it's very easy for you to remember because you took part and you participated. And as you read, you get that your lecturer did convey a different message, or he did expand a little more, or maybe your notes are way expand, or maybe your notes are expanding the concepts way better than they were being explained in class. So I find active participation to be a really big key, honestly, to just learning. Christians who might be watching this, please do pray before studying. In as much as you don't believe in demons and in the devil's what, those things do exist, at least on my end. So make sure you pray, commit yourself into the hands of the Lord. So that was practically it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And I will see you guys in my next video.